Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're finishing up the weekend's what I call sports stress testing with one test that I'm really worried about, and we are going to be playing APBA Football tonight by APBA Games. As you know, if you've been on the channel regularly, I've been stress testing a lot of my sports games, figuring out what I can actually use on replays. I found that I can actually use a lot of my games with some modifications. But this is one that actually worries me a little bit just because APBA Football, I know, has got some potential to turn into a little bit of a sprawling mess. But we are headed over to Raymond James Stadium for another 2002 matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I played those two in season ticket football yesterday, and I decided to run it back in APBA since I had the 2002 Super Bowl set for APBA Football. So, I think we are all set to jump into this one. Let's start off with getting the coin toss. And the way we're going to resolve the coin toss is we're going to remember to turn the light on over top of the camera. And now we're going to roll our two bigger dice. Buccaneers, Raiders, and the total will be the decision. Odds the winning team will receive, evens the winning team will defer. The Raiders will win the coin toss, and they will receive. And we're going to do a couple things here to speed it up, as I'm going to check on the alignment here. I think everything looks good. So there are a few things that I'm doing to help me speed things up. Before we get into that, I will mention, and you might be able to see it, probably not though. Let me zoom in on the field. It might make it a little bit easier to see. I put a pair of arrow tokens here just to help me indicate which direction each team is going. So Tampa Bay is going to be going this way, Oakland going this way. So we'll zoom it back out. Actually, yeah, we'll zoom back out, and we'll get Tampa Bay ready to kick it off to Oakland. They'll be at the 30. So now what am I doing to maybe speed this up a little bit? First thing I'm doing, just like with my other play-by-play football sims, I'm using 10-minute quarters. You may be able to see it on my custom clock that I use. I do have this mat that I've been using for all my football games, which does have a clock on the outside of it, but that's for 12-second timing, whereas this uses 15-second timing for half plays. 30 for full plays, so we're starting with a 10-minute quarter. The other thing I'm going to do that'll help me theoretically speed it up is in the dice rolling. So I've got two sets of red and white dice. I'm going to use the big dice for the defensive play when we get into that, and then the smaller dice are going to be for the offense. So hopefully that all makes sense, and we'll jump into this game. We're all set for the opening kickoff, and I bet I cannibalized one of the arrows that I was going to use to help me mark off plays in my APBA book. No matter. I can grab another one. I've got plenty of them in this set. I'd prefer a single-sided arrow, though. If I can find one. Got a couple out. Those will work. Okay, we won't need anything for the kickoff, of course, as we will find one falling on the ground, but Tampa Bay will kick this one off to Oakland, and after that rambly word salad, we are going to be underway here at Raymond James Stadium shortly. Let's get the kick for Grammatica. That will be an 11, which will be a 3. That'll be a booming kick, 74 yards. That'll go for a touchback, and Oakland will have it at their 20. So that'll be a touchback. And I don't think we take any time off for the kickoff. At least that's what I'm going to go with. Anywho, now we're looking at 1st and 10 for Oakland at their own 20. For their first play from scrimmage, the Raiders are going to get the... Let's see, Leckler, Buchanan, Knight. I want to make sure I've got my special teams sorted out here, now that we no longer need them. They're still going to be accessible when I do need them, but we don't need them just yet. Okay. So the Raiders, for their first play from scrimmage, are going to go with an inside run. They're going to go inside run, and they're going to give that to Charlie Garner. So they're going inside run to Garner. I also have a copy of the defensive play calling cards. So that's where the 2 sets of dice are going to come into play. We'll use the big dice to get the play call from the Buccaneers defense, and then we'll use the smaller dice to get the play call, to get the result for the Raiders, as ID Jester is first to join us here at Raymond James Stadium. Let me get my book all set to go. I want... here we go. Defense 31 to offense 15. So we're looking at an inside run. Okay, the play... Whoop. Hold on, looks like my OBS decided it wanted to disconnect on me, so... Okay, there we go. As I was saying, 62, we got AS for the Buccaneers defense, and a 26. That tray is up a little bit higher than I thought it would be. 26 is a 24, and that'll be a 3-yard pickup. That'll be 3-yard pickup for Garner. 1, 2, 3. We'll tick off 30 seconds, and then we'll find ourselves at 2nd and 7. For the Raiders at their own 23. This time we're going to air it out, and that'll send us over to Gannon's card. That will be we'll go for a short pass to Rice. That'll be Jerry Rice, actually, because we do have a Simeon Rice on the Buccaneers defense. So let's get our play call here, as we're getting set for a short pass. And Jester, you might want to plug your ears, because this could get ugly depending on how this stress test goes for APBA Football. That is a 12 on defense. Against the pass, they're guessing run. So CG is going to be the defense for the Buccaneers. And a 14 for Gannon. On a pass play is a 21. And that'll fall incomplete. So a lucky break-ish for the Buccaneers. Ticking off 15 seconds, and it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. They're going to go medium pass. This time they're going to go to Tim Brown with the medium pass. Play call here is a 44. Against the pass, Buccaneers are ready for it. So a BD on, this time we went medium pass. BD and a 13 for Gannon is going to be a 10. And that will also fall incomplete. So a 3 and out for the Raiders here, as they are getting ready to punt this one away. And here will come the punt team. Whoop. And I actually was using the ball to indicate who's got the ball. It would help if I move it over to the right spot. So we'll get the punt ready for the Raiders. Kicking and returns. That's what we want. Kicking. There should have been a separate punt chart, I thought. Oh, here we go. Okay, punting chart. So we're going to get Tom Tupa ready to punt this one off for the Buccaneers. We'll take our first look at him on the day. And he's going to punt off the K column from the offense 49 to 15. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm reading. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, 49 to 15. All right, so Tupa with the punt. That is a 44 on the punt. That'll be a 4. That'll be a booming punt, most likely. 44, 4, 53 over to D10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3. D10 for the Buccaneers is John Lynch. He will get the return on this one. And he'll return off of his R column with a 53. 53 for Lynch is going to be a 25. That doesn't sound like it's going to be a good return. 25 will be no return, actually. And Tampa Bay will have it. 15 seconds off the clock. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay. And we'll actually remember to move the ball over to the Buccaneers this time. Tampa Bay at their own 23. And the Buccaneers, once I get the book set up, the Buccaneers are going to go for a medium pass right away. They're going to look for Keyshawn Johnson. So we'll get Brad Johnson's card ready to go for the Buccaneers. There we are. And now we don't need special teams anymore. We will need the defensive cards potentially, though. But let's see what kind of play we're going to have. This time we're looking at the Raiders +5 defense. That is a 62 against the pass, as Dave's Board Gaming now joins us here at Raymond James Stadium. 62 is going to be a standard defense. So they want medium pass and we want BS. And a 63 on Johnson's card on a pass play is a 13. That sounds like it's trouble. And yep, that will be trouble. That'll fall incomplete. As I forgot to adjust the mat, second and 10. And absolutely nothing changed there. We will go with an outside run to Pittman. Let's see what happens on this outside run for the Buccaneers. 1st to 54 for the Raiders against the run. They're guessing pass. So outside run, BD, and a 55. That'll be a 17. That'll probably be something good. That will be 10 yards and out of bounds. So that will get the Buccaneers the first down. But it's also out of bounds. So, only 15 seconds off the clock. 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers at their own 33. They're going to hand it off up the middle. They're going to give this one to Allstott. So we'll take our first look at Mike Allstott in this game. And in case you didn't see the earlier explanation, I've got 2 sets of red and white dice. So I'm using the bigger dice to get the play call off of the defense. And that'll be a standard defense on an inside run. CS. And then the smaller dice, the 46, will get Allstott a result of 24. And on a 24, that'll be a 1-yard pickup. Taking off our full time, 2nd and 9. And here we're going to go for a short pass. I know there's screenplays in the Master game, but I'm not playing the Master game tonight. This is going to be to Juravicious. There's going to be this short pass. So we need Brad Johnson's card ready to go. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy a little bit of Sunday night football, and I'm not going to start ranting, well, too much. A 61 for the Raiders. They're in standard again. So let's get a short pass onto a CS. And I'm not worrying about upgrading the receiver grades. I know that's supposed to be a thing as well. 13 for Johnson on a pass play is a 10. That might actually get completed. Yep, that will get complete for 6 yards, but out of bounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking off 30 seconds. 3rd down and 3. Hope if I could actually write a 3. Tampa Bay up to their own 40. They'll give that on an outside run to Pittman. So it would help if I get Pittman's card ready to go. A 24 for the Raiders against the run. 24 is going to be standard. So outside run. Actually, yes, we still want the same chart. Standard. So we're done with those dice. And a 25 is going to be a 17. 25 is a 17. That'll be 8 yards, and that'll be a first down. So 10, 9, 8. And that'll tick off 30 seconds, and we'll be looking at a fresh set of downs for the Buccaneers. First and 10. As Tampa Bay has not yet crossed into Oakland territory, but they're close. They're going to go with a medium pass this time. And they're going to look for Keyshawn Johnson. .45 for the Raiders against the pass. 45 against the pass. That's another standard call. So that, what did we say? Medium pass, BS. And a 41. 41 is going to be a 21. That's probably trouble. And yeah, that'll be incomplete. As we'll tick off time. Second and 10. As Tampa Bay can't make any headway. This is the 7th play of the drive for the Buccaneers. And they're going to go right up the gut to Allstott. .52 for the Raiders is going to be a... Well, they're guessing pass on this one. So inside run CD. This is going to be the play call. 21 for Allstott on the run is going to be a 24. And that'll be a 2-yard pickup. So Allstott rumbles ahead for 2 as the Buccaneers find themselves at midfield. 3rd and 8. As Tampa Bay is at midfield, they're going to go with a... They're going to go short pass to Johnson again. .32 for the Raiders. They're going to be in... They're guessing run on this one. So there might be an opportunity for the Buccaneers to take advantage of that. And 11 on a pass play is going to be a 2. Oh boy. So 11 on a short pass against CG, a 2. And holy cow, that'll be a big pass play. As Johnson will get that one, he'll bust several tackles, and it'll be a touchdown-saving tackle, but only after 47 yards. 10, 20, 30, 47. Wow, what a play by Johnson. By both Johnsons, as the Buccaneers offense catches the Raiders guessing wrong on that one, and that'll be a 1st and goal for the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay has made it to the 3. And I think they're going to keep it pretty simple here. They're just going to try to cram it right down the Raiders' throats, most likely. I'm just trying to get the right play out. So they're going to shove that down the Raiders' throats. This one's going to be an inside run to Allstott on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th play of this drive. Let's see if Allstott can cram it down the Raiders' throats and get into the end zone. Raiders have to make a goal line stand early. 43 against the run is going to be, they're guessing pass. And a 51, okay, so CD. So inside run, CD. 51 for Allstott is going to be a 17. And that'll be 4 yards, and that'll be a touchdown. As the Buccaneers jump out, finding my remote, to an early 6-0 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! And we'll check on the extra point, as we'll get Grammatica in to try to tack on the extra point. And I think, well, I'm going to roll... I think I only need these dice anyway for the extra point. That is a 64. 64 is a 3. And the extra point is up, and it is good. And the Buccaneers now have a 7-0 lead. And I forgot to move the first down marker out of the way. So just as a heads up on what you're seeing for colors on the board, the pink blocks are just covering up stuff on the mat, but the brown block here is the ball, black dye is the first down marker. Since I have used this mat for a while, and that's the color scheme I've adapted for it. So Tampa Bay will kick that back to the Raiders after a 9-play drive. So we've got the kickoff ready. As Grammatica will kick that off with a 34. 34 will be a 28. That'll be a bad kick. 40 yards and 06. So 10, 20, 30, 40. 06 for the Raiders is the right tackle. That's Langston Walker. And I know this is one of your big pain points with APBA Football, Jester, where you only roll on the offensive players like once or twice a year. Well, here's one of the times that we're rolling off of it, surprisingly. 53 is a 25. I'd be stunned if that goes anywhere. And... wait a second. Hold on. I probably am not rolling on the right column. 53 is a 25. 53 is a 25. I do not buy that being a 13-yard return. Let me look here at the special teams. No, I guess a 13-yard return probably isn't that out of the question. So, yeah. All those cards and you only roll on 3 of them, which is a very fair criticism of APBA Football, which is part of why I'm doing some stress testing on a lot of these sports games just to see what all is going to land in my replay library. And APBA Football, while I picked up a few seasons of it, was never one I was fully sure of, especially when I was having a lot of issues with some of my longer systems. But I've since figured out a way. Actually, Oakland's got great field position, but with some of these modifications I've been making on these games, I'm getting ways that I can use some of these longer games in my replay library. So, Oakland is going to go with an outside run to Garner to start off their second drive here of the second quarter. There's Charlie Garner. So let's get a play call here, and we'll get our first down marker. A 15 for Tampa Bay against the run. That's Tampa Bay guessed right on this one, as they're expecting the run. Let's get back here. So we want that. This is another thing I admittedly don't like, is having to change the charts after almost every single play, which is why I've also started jotting down what the play is. Second season football, data-driven football, and Glory Days Pro Football are the only ones you'll probably play. That's fair, and I'm probably going to, at some point, I know I'll look at data-driven football. But given my relationship with football games, although it's getting better now, I'll probably be very picky about the football games I pick up. 25 for Garner. 25 for Garner is going to be a 16. And that'll be a 10-yard pickup, and that'll be a first down. Took off 30 seconds. 10 yards, and that'll be first and 10. I didn't even have to adjust that. But Oakland is now in Tampa Bay territory. They're at the Tampa Bay 47. They're going to go inside run this time, and they're going to give that off to Crockett. So Zach Crockett will get the ball here. We'll see what kind of play we're going to have here. 11. Oh boy. Tampa Bay looking at a CG. So they guessed right on this one. Inside run CG with a 16. That'll be a 20. That'll be a 26. And that'll be stopped for no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. As they're still at the Tampa Bay 47, they're going to try a medium pass to Rice. So we'll get Gannon ready to let this one fly. So medium pass to Rice, as I try not to send my pen falling on me. 52 for the Buccaneers. They're guessing run. So Oakland caught him in the wrong defense. Let's see if they can take advantage. A 24 on a pass play is a 12. So medium pass CG. What did we say? 14 was a 21. And no, they can't take advantage of that. That'll be incomplete. So we'll tick off another 15 seconds, and that'll be 3rd and 10. At the 47, they're going to try another pass, and this time they're going to look for Tim Brown. .31 is going to be a standard defense. So medium pass and standard defense. A 35 on a pass play is going to be an 8. That'll probably be complete. 7 yards, so they'll be just short of the first down. And that'll be 4th and 3. And this early, I think you just take the points. So Oakland wants to get on the board here, so that's what they're going to go for. Although it is going to be a 57-yard kick for Sebastian Janikowski, which is probably going to be a pretty big ask. Yeah, they're gonna send Janikowski out to try to make this kick. So they're gonna send the field goal unit out. We'll see what Janikowski. Let's see how he goes on this kick. We just need we'll just use the 2 main dice. And I forgot to move the ball over. 42 for Janikowski on his K column. 42 is a 3. And that is kicking from the 40 to 49. A 3. That is up. That is no good. He hooked it. Janikowski hooking it wide right. So Janikowski misses from 57, and the Buccaneers will have that with pretty good field position. We'll tick off 15 seconds, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers with great field position as Janikowski not able to boot it through. So Tampa Bay at their own 40. As they get a break, Janikowski's leg, not able to put it through. They will start off with an inside run to Allstott on the drive. Bad break for the Raiders. Let's see if their defense can give them a stand and maybe give them the ball back. Maybe the Buccaneers will take advantage of field position. At 16, though, that's a standard defense. And now we need to change the charts. So inside run AS. .41 for Allstott is going to be a 27. That seems like it's going to be trouble. That'll be a 1-yard pickup. We'll tick off another 30 seconds. And it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay from their own 41. They're going to go short pass to Juravicius. So we need Brad Johnson's card ready to go. .55, Raiders are probably waiting for this one, and pass, they are waiting for it. So that'll be BD on a short pass. Raiders are ready for this one. 62 on a pass play is a 12. That seems like trouble. And that'll fall incomplete. Third and 9. As Tampa Bay has done exactly bubkiss with the good field position they got from the missed field goal. That'll be an outside run to Pittman. Is what the Buccaneers will go with here. As for the defense, 36 means the Raiders probably aren't going to be waiting for it. They'll be in standard. So outside run, BS. And a 22. Doubles are usually good in the APBA world. 22 is a 16. And that will be good here because that'll be an 11-yard pickup, 10-11, and that'll be a first down for the Buccaneers. A fresh set of downs as Tampa Bay prolongs the drive. We'll tick off 30 seconds as well, and that'll be 1st and 10. Tampa Bay is on the march. They're at the Oakland 48. And here they're going to go... They're going to look for... They're going to go for a short pass to Yoder, their tight end. But of course we roll off of Johnson's card for the pass. 26 for the Raiders is going to be another standard defense. And what is that? BS? Yes. Short pass standard. And a 65 for Johnson on a pass play is a 16. That'll probably get knocked down. No, it won't actually. That will be a 1-yard pickup for the Buccaneers. Taking off another 30 seconds. 2nd and 9. As Tampa Bay is at the Oakland 47 on the march. They'll go inside run to Pittman. Oop. 64 for the Raiders is going to be a standard defense. Inside run, standard. And a 36 is going to be a 24. And that'll be a 1-yard pickup. Wow, we're nickel and diming the yards here. 3rd and 8. This time we're going to go medium pass to Juravicius. A 26 is going to be a standard defense. So medium pass, BS. And a 51 is probably going to be trouble. That's an 8. That actually might be completed. Yeah, that'll be an 11-yard pickup, shockingly enough. Actually, those were both 1s. So that'll be an 11-yard pickup, 10-11. And just when the Buccaneers need it, they get a fresh set of downs with a half a play left here in the first quarter, aka 15 seconds. As they're at the Oakland 35, and they'll close the quarter out with an outside run to Pittman. This time the play call is a 12 for Oakland against the run. They're guessing pass. A 12 for Pittman as well will be a 29. Let's get the right chart going. Outside run CD. What did we say? 12 is a 29. Whoa! Pittman going the wrong way with that one. Going all kinds of the wrong way. Minus 6 yards. And there's the gun to end the first quarter. Tampa Bay with a 7-0 lead, but they are now facing a 2nd and long to start the second quarter. Tampa Bay at the Oakland 41 now, after the loss of 6 yards. And, gotta go for the right time. Looking at the time on that, because that's part of what I'm doing here is I'm doing stress testing, but I'll talk more about that when this quarter's over, and my initial reactions. If you guys are picking up on some of the signals I'm giving, you might be able to guess where this is going to end up going. So the Buccaneers are going to go for a medium pass, even though their passing game has been pretty much crap tonight. They're going to look for Johnson again. If you guys are observant, you can probably guess how this stress test is going so far. 53 for the Raiders. Is they're going into standard defense. So medium pass, standard. CS. A 61 on the pass is going to be an 11. That'll probably... Nope, that's going to fall incomplete. The Buccaneers just can't get anything going here. And that'll be 3rd and 16. They're going to go... They're almost going to have to go for a bomb here. They're going to try it. They are going to try a long pass. And I know I've got long pass. Here it is. So which one do we want? We are between the offenses. We are between... Actually, the defense is 30 and 50. So we are going to go long pass. We're going to look for Johnson again. We'll see if this works any better. Spoiler alert, probably not, but that's why we're going to roll the dice, isn't it? That is a 56 on the play call. 56 for the Raiders is going to be AS, standard defense, but looks like the best standard. And a 46 is going to be a 16. That seems likely to fall incomplete, and it will. So the Buccaneers get gifted good field position, but they can't do anything with it. Oop. And now it'll be 4th down, and the Buccaneers are faced with the same decision. They've got it would be a 58-yard field goal kick for Grammatica. But the question here is, do you try it, or do you try the kick, or do you punt the ball away? Dave Jester, if you can give me a compelling reason to try the field goal, I'll listen, but I'm leaning toward you punt the ball away here. Try to pin him deep. Although the problem is APBA doesn't offer a coffin corner option. Jester says punt, and that was the direction I was leaning in anyway. So they're going to bring... So with that, the Buccaneers are going to bring, once I find him, they're going to bring the punt team in. Have to with the lead? Yeah, I would agree. So they're going to bring Tom Tupa in to punt. I mean, if you could have convinced me to try the field goal, I might have, but the Bucs are going to punt the ball away here. They're going to try to pin the Raiders in deep. Let's see. He rolls on the K column. Actually, does he roll on the K column? I think he does. Trying to remember which column. Let's see. Punts and returns. Punting team rolls the dice under the K column. Yep. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. Okay, that's a 12. 22 seems like it's going to go into the end zone, and yep, that will indeed go into the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and that'll come out to the Oakland 20, where the Raiders will have it, 1st and 10. So Oakland with the ball now as Tampa Bay had a 10-play drive, but they couldn't do anything with it. Oakland at their own 20. They're going to start this drive off with an inside run to Crockett. Inside run to Crockett, and then getting the play ready here. Let's see what kind of play call we get up to here. 45 for the Buccaneers against the run. That's going to be a standard defense. Right, this is the one we want. So inside run, BS. And a 64 is going to be a 22. That will be a 2-yard pickup. As we'll tick off time. And I forgot to adjust that, but it'll now be 2nd and 8. Oakland at their own 22. They're going to go outside run to Garner. Oop. I just passed Garner's card. There we go. $64 for the Buccaneers on the offense is going to be standard. Outside run, standard. And a 53 is going to be an 18. That will be a 5-yard pickup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ticking off another 30 seconds, and it'll be 3rd and 3. Actually, yeah, 3rd and 3. At the 27, actually. And we are going to go for a short pass to Williams. We'll take a look at the tight end here for the Raiders. $54 for the Buccaneers. That's going to be, they're guessing run. So short pass, AG. Let's see if the Raiders can take advantage of the wrong defense. 56 on a pass play is an 18. That doesn't seem likely to. And that'll be a 1-yard pickup, but that won't get the Raiders the first down. So a 1-yard pickup won't get it done. And that'll be a 3 and out for the Raiders, 4th and 2. And the Raiders are just going to punt it away. So the Raiders will send out their punter for our first look at him today. The Raiders are going to send out Shane Leckler to punt the ball away. And I think this is the part that's bothering me the most about APBA Football, is constantly having to change the charts out. Whereas with a lot of these other systems, you can just settle into one set of charts and away you go. So actually, I'm going to roll both dice. Once again, we'll use the big dice for the punter and then the smaller dice for the return in case we need it. So offense, 25 to 50. Yep. Actually, we want to be 49 to 15. That's what we want. $34 for Leckler is going to be a 22. And that'll be 38 to D10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 8 at the 34. D10 for the Buccaneers is Carl Williams. There we are. So we're done with those. 32 on the P column is a 27. So a punt return on a 27. That'll be fair caught. So the coverage swarming on him, and the Buccaneers will have that 1st and 10 at their 34. At their own 34. All right, the Buccaneers are going to go. Let's see, what play do they want here? Right. Let's see, the Bucs are going to go. They're going to go inside run to Allstott to start the drive. And I did remember to change the I did remember to change the scoreboard. Oakland is almost certainly waiting for this one, and they are. That'll be a CG for the Raiders. So inside run, CG. 13 for Allstott will be a 20. 13 is a 20. That'll be no gain on the play. That play will get stuffed at the line. 2nd and 10 as the Raiders defense holds firm. This time they're going to go medium pass to Juravicius. So we need Brad Johnson's card again. A 12, that's the Raiders defense. 12 on the defense is a CG. A 32 is a 27. That will be likely to fall incomplete. And actually, hold on, 32, what did we say? 32 at 27. And that'll be a 2-yard loss. So Johnson gets wrapped up on the play, and he gets taken down for a 2-yard loss. Taking off time, and it'll be 3rd and 12. Let's see. You know I know this, but football, hockey, and even basketball are much harder to play than baseball. Yes, I know that. They take a lot of time to play. Football is the worst because you have to get offensive and defensive play calls. That's why I like the offseason so much, and what I've been doing here lately in stress testing a lot of these systems, just to figure out, okay, where are the pain points if I want to feature this engine for a season replay. And there are a few that I'm definitely warm to featuring. This, so far, as you might be able to tell so far, this engine, APBA Football, is not one of them. Anywho, we've got 3rd and 12 coming up. They're going to try again on the medium pass, looking for Johnson. And yes, I kind of gave it away a little bit, but yes, I am starting to freeze on the idea of using APBA Football. Actually, I think I looked at the wrong play. Yeah, I did look at the wrong play. So I'm not going to re-roll the play, though. 31. 31 is going to be a standard defense. 32 on a pass play is going to be a 27. That's medium pass CS. 27. Uh-oh, what's the R column? So R is sending us to a special chart. I believe that's turnovers. If I can ever get there. I must have started tabbing this book and then didn't finish. Let's see. R. What did R send us to? R's quarterback scramble. So if we roll that, we probably have to roll it as an inside run. But let me find that out. Pass R means use the R column and the outside run. Right. Use R and the outside run, probably for the same defense. So this is an outside run as Johnson had to take off. 15 is an 11. And he will get 1 yard out of the play, but that'll still be 4th down. 6:30 to play. As there will be no funny business, the Buccaneers will send Tom Tupa out to punt this one away. Up. Come here. Dice were about to go rolling on me. That is a 34. 34 on the K column is going to be a 20. Let's get the right chart ready, Phoenix. Offense, 49 to 15. 34 we established was a 20. That'll bring us 43 D10. $10, $20, $30, $40, 1, 2, 3. So D10 in this case is going to be Tim Brown, who's getting the punt return. There we are. We'll roll on his column. A 12. 12 on the P is a 31. And on a punt return, that'll be 7 and TQ. Let's see, TQ seems like a... What did we say? 12? 12 of a 31. Yep, 7 TQ. Let's see if we can figure out what in the world that is. Let's see, TQ probably sends us to turnovers, possibly? No, actually, T might be a penalty. Yeah, Q column penalty. Okay, so that's what that is. Okay, so we're going to roll one more time for a penalty. So what do we say? 7. So, 7 yards, but we got to check the flag. 65. 65 on a Q is a 7. That'll be holding on the offense. They will... Automatic safety, which it's not. Disregard on blocked kicks. Actually, no. Kickoff returns. The Raiders are going to... So that's holding on the offense. Do they want they want to decline and make him kick again? Or do the Raiders just want the ball here? I think they're going to back him up 10 yards and make him kick again. So back him up 10 yards. Jester saying I have to know going in how long this game will take to play. Setting up to send second edition, which will take 2 to 3 hours, but no one accepted going in. That's fair. Need to do this with sports games and just know it's going to take X time to play it. That's what I'm trying to find out in terms of how long some of these games are going to take to play, because I don't want to run into what I did with my 2009-10 replay with Inside the Crease, where, as stated, I don't want to realize midway through that I've suddenly got a problem, and now I have to change course on that. So that's why I'm doing all of this stress testing to figure out just how long it's going to take. So the Raiders did decide to back the Buccaneers up and make them kick it again. Actually, that would be on the... offense, we're going to say that's on the kicking team. So they are going to back the Buccaneers up and make them kick it again. So this time they're kicking from their 23. And we'll bring Tupa right back out. A 64 is going to be a 6. That'll be 44D10. Good thing I've already got Tim Brown ready to go. So, 44, 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4. 51 on... 51 is an 11, which on a punt return will be an 8-yard return. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the 41 with great field position. If I want to be done in an hour, just play the 4th quarter of the game, sim the first 3 quarters to get a score going into the 4th quarter. That actually, in a way, is how I got into trouble with my 2009-10 hockey season replay with Inside the Crease. Because I was using ChatGPT to get the third period situation going in, which would be the same thing essentially as simming the first 2 periods. But that's how I got into trouble, and I talked about that during Pino with Phoenix. For September, as that's how I got into trouble with that replay where I ended up with 2 separate worlds, which is why 2009-10 is going to be eligible to be replayed again at some point, now that I've figured out how I can make the replays a little bit more pure. But anywho, the Raiders will have that 1st and 10 from their own 41. They're going to start off with a medium pass to Rice. Okay, let's get the rest of the special teams ready to go, which we have actually got them there. So we're going to start off with the medium pass. Let's get the right charts ready to go. There we are, medium pass. And I do need to tick off 15 seconds for the second punt. 46 for Tampa Bay is going to be standard. $53 for Gannon on a pass play. It's going to be a 9. That one actually might be caught. And it will be for a 7-yard pickup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll tick off 30 seconds. It'll be 2nd and 3 once I get a new play log ready to go. I don't need... Do I have 2 of them here? Yes, I do have 2. I only need 1. Just getting my second score sheet ready. Okay. Now, on 2nd and 3, the whole playbook's open. They're going to go Oakland from their own 48. They're going to go outside run to Garner. Whoop. Because it's not going to stay stacked properly. A 12 against the run. Tampa Bay is guessing pass. What is that? Outside run, CD. 25 for Garner. Let's see if the Raiders can take advantage. 25 is a 16. That'll be a 10-yard pickup out of bounds, and that'll be a first down for the Raiders. So 10 OB, and I've already ticked it down. So that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Tampa Bay 42. This time they're going to go short pass to Tim Brown. Whoa, I never had that happen before. 66 though. Buccaneers are waiting for it. They're going to be in CD on a short pass. CD on a short pass. 33, though. Gannon might get past it. 33 is a 3. And he will get past it. That'll be a 25-yard pickup by Brown. He'll be out of bounds. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice play there by Rich Gannon to find Tim Brown with that. 25 yards and out of bounds. And that'll be another fresh set of downs as Oakland, just like that, finds themselves in the red zone. Tampa Bay 17. Let's see if the Buccaneers can pull a goal line stand. They're going to go outside run to Garner as Oakland looking at the 4th play of their drive. So outside run to Garner. We'll get the charts ready now. Yes. Outside run, we need to get Garner's card ready as well. There we are. 32 for the Buccaneers. Against the run, they're guessing pass. 15 is going to be a 16. And they went CD. 15 is a 16. That'll be a 6-yard pickup. Taking off time. 4:30 to play in the second. 2nd and 4. As Oakland finds themselves at the Tampa Bay 11. They're going to go short pass to Rice. See if they can find the end zone here. A 24 for the Buccaneers will be a standard defense. And a 51. 51 is a 7 on a short pass in BS. And we say 51 is a 7. That'll be 10 yards and 10 yards, and that'll be a 1st and goal for the Raiders at the Tampa Bay 1. 6-yard pickup. As Oakland at the Tampa Bay 1. And they're going to try to stuff it down. They're going to try to stuff it down their throats with Crockett. 1 yard to go here. So an inside run. Let's see what kind of play we're going to have. .52. That'll be, well, Tampa Bay is waiting. Actually, Tampa Bay is guessing pass on this one. 43 for Crockett. 43 on the run is going to be a 36. Inside run, CD. 43 was a 36 and 6 yards, so that'll be a touchdown. But we need to see if the TE. I think that's either penalty or a turnover. Why do I think TE is an E-column penalty? Because it is an E-column penalty. That's why I think it's an E-column penalty. So right now it's a touchdown if the call stands. So you just note that. 6 TE, what is the lowercase j now? Probably an injury. Yep, that is an injury, but I'm not playing with injuries. So we need to check the penalty, see if the touchdown stands. So an E-column penalty, let's see what we get for the penalty. 46. 46 is a 7. That'll be holding on the offense. So Tampa Bay is definitely going to bump them back to the 11. So that'll be 1st and goal now for the Raiders from the 11. This time they're going to try a short pass. See if they can find Brown to get into the end zone. Because I need to get Gannon's card ready on that. 31 is going to be standard. as we'll get back to the short pass to Brown there in standard. 12 is a 32. That sounds like trouble. Nope. That'll be incomplete. The Raiders will get away with one there. And I need to tick off time for both plays. So now we're looking at 2nd and goal from the 11. Buccaneers trying to get a goal line stand out of this one. They're going to go outside run to Garner, are the Raiders. .42. Buccaneers are in standard for this one. So outside run, standard. Looking for Garner with a 26. 26 is a 24. That sounds troublish. 24, that'll be a 1-yard loss. Raiders are going the wrong way with this one. And it is now 3rd and goal from the 12. They're going to go medium pass to Brown. Actually, they're going to go short pass to Brown. Because you can't call a medium pass from this close in. So we're going to go short pass to Brown. And I'll flip over to Gannon's card momentarily. 12, and actually I'm looking at the play, they might get the touchdown here, so that'll be CG. So they're guessing run on the short pass. That is a 66, which on a pass play is a 3, and that will be a touchdown, as that'll be... So that was a -1 for Garner. So that'll be 14 yards, and that'll be a touchdown. And the Raiders are up on the board 7-6, pending the extra point. I'll tick off the time for that. Let's see if the Raiders, I should say, can get the extra point and tie the game. We will get Janikowski out to make the kick. Or to try to make the kick, I should say. That is a 63. That's a 5. The extra point is up, and it is good. So we tie the game here at 7. And now the Raiders will get ready to kick it back to the Buccaneers. As we've got 3:30 to play here in the first half. And we've got the kickoff here all set to go. Not too much time left in the first half, though. But we've got a tie game here at Raymond James Stadium. A 61 for Janikowski on the kickoff. 61 is a 5. That'll be 67-09. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, 7, and 09, that is Pittman. 32 will be a 28. That doesn't seem likely to be good. 32 on a 28, that'll be a 10-yard return. So out to the 13-yard line, where Tampa Bay will have it 1st and 10. Tampa Bay from their own 13. They're going to go outside run to Pittman. Good thing I've got Pittman ready to go here. 22 says the Raiders are probably waiting for this one. BG, they are waiting for it. Let's see, they're at their own 13, so yeah, we need this chart between offenses 14 and the goal line. And they're going BG. 34 for Pittman is a 25. That seems problematic. No gain on the play. 3 minutes to play here in the half. 2nd and 10 as the Buccaneers couldn't get anything going. From their own 13. They're going to try medium pass to Juravicius. A 12 for the Raiders on defense. That'll be CG. Hold on. Yep, here we go. Medium pass. CG. And I need Brad Johnson's card. 26 is a 16. I'm pretty sure that's going to fall incomplete, and it will. 2:45 to play here in the half. 3rd and 10. Good thing I didn't go too far with Tom Tupa's card because we're probably going to be needing that momentarily. We're going to go long pass and we're going to look for Johnson this time. We're going to look for Keyshawn Johnson on a long pass. Actually, we've got a pair of 26s. Oakland will be in standard for this one. And a 26 is probably going to be equally problematic. BS, 26 for Johnson on the pass is a 16. I suspect that will fall incomplete, and it will. And the Buccaneers are going to go 3 and out with 2:30 left to play here in the second quarter, and this is nothing but a punt. As the Buccaneers couldn't make any headway on this drive. So Tampa Bay punting from their own 13. As Tom Tupa is probably standing in the end zone right about now. A 23 is going to be a 31. That is probably going to be a terrible punt. 30 D11 TZ, so there'll be a flag on the play. 30 D11, so we'll go to penalties once we resolve the return. So let's stay with the return. So 30, 10, 20, 30, an absolutely awful punt. And that will be Philip Buchanan. Once I find his card, he's right here. A 13 is going to be a 26. 13 is a 26. That'll be no return, but we'll check the flag. As we need to go to Z column for penalties. Yep, I was going to say, is there a Z on here? But there is. 16 on a Z column penalty will be a 7. That'll be holding on the offense. This time the Raiders are going to decline the penalty. They're going to take the great field position. And that'll be 1st and 10 for Oakland from the Tampa Bay 43. That was a terrible punt by Tupa. Let's see if the Raiders can take advantage of excellent field position. We are at the 2-minute warning from the... Let's see, just looking through your stuff, you have 4th Street Football, APBA, second season, Pay Dirt, Status Pro, probably from 1988, Inside Blitz, Dice Football, Game-Winning Drive. Lots of choices. Yeah, there are a lot of tabletop football choices out there. Let's see, that'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. But I think I can tell I'm getting ready to make my choice here, or my choice is when it comes to football. We'll talk more when this half is over, and we're talking about the results of this stress test for APBA Football. And again, you can probably pick up on some of the comments here on what you guys can probably guess what I'm going to end up thinking of this. Oakland's going to try to run this ball to get to halftime. 41 is going to be AS, so that'll be in standard defense. Right, here we are. So outside run, as my arrow went, there we go, I was trying to get it out from under my laptop. AS, momentum and game-winning drive are much easier and quicker, but don't give the play-by-play. I actually did, if you remember, Jester, I actually did 1972 in Momentum Football. 51 for Garner, though, is going to be a 16. That'll be a 13-yard pickup, and the Raiders are on the march. 10, 11, 12, 13, and that'll be a first down for the Raiders, as Oakland is trying to get this one into halftime. Oakland at the Tampa Bay 33. They're going to go medium pass to Rice. You don't remember me playing Momentum Football? Guess you missed that. I was actually the unofficial fall season replay that I did last year. So I'm just looking for they're at the 33, so we're actually on the place we want to be. So we want a medium pass. So we'll need Gannon's card in a second here. I'll get that ready once we roll these. 66, the Buccaneers are waiting for it, though. So medium pass CD, we'll get Gannon's card. We're looking at a 15 for a 6. He might get by that anyway. He will. That'll be a 16-yard pickup. So 10, 16 will take them to the 14. And we've got 1 minute left here in the first half. Let's see if Oakland can cram this home. First and 10 is there at the Tampa Bay 14. They're going to go short pass to Brown. So it's still first and 10. They can still make the 4-yard line for a first down, but not get a touchdown out of it. A 13 for Tampa Bay. They're going to be in standard. Short pass to Brown. And a 64 for Gannon on the pass. That's a 9. And that'll be 7 yards. So 7. We'll tick off 30 seconds. And this will probably be the last play of the first half. So 2nd and 7. They're going to go short pass to their tight end, Williams. Oakland wants to put this in the end zone before halftime. 45 from Tampa Bay. That'll be in standard again. A 25 for Gannon. 25 is going to be a 6. And that'll be caught. That'll be in for the touchdown. So 7 yards. That'll be the touchdown. Oakland will take the lead going into what would be halftime. But we're going to kick the extra point. And then we're going to call it a stream. Oop, I won't need that momentarily anyway. So we'll look at the extra point for Janikowski. As the Raiders pick up a 13-7 lead. A 66. If that's not good, then I'm the Pope. If that's got any problems, a 3. Yeah, that'll be up and that'll be good. So 7. As Oakland will now take a 14-7 lead into halftime, and that's where I'm going to call this stream of APBA Football. We'll sound the gun, go into halftime, 14-7 Raiders. But that'll do it for this playthrough of APBA Football. So as you probably have guessed by now, as much as I want to say I was enjoying this, that would actually be a lie. This game turned out... I don't know, it just felt too mechanical to me, I think. And I was thinking about this, at least with baseball, and as much of the play games as I've been doing, where I think the play games really give you a lot more of that narrative that you don't really get in a game like APBA Football, where, yes, APBA Football is designed to be simple, it's designed to be fast playing, but I really like having that story that you can sink your teeth into. But this just feels too mechanical. It's not really working for me is the problem. So as far as my football engines go, I think moving forward, it's going to be Glory Days, Momentum. I will take a look at Game-Winning Drive. I might actually pick up at least the Super Bowl set of that and give that a try. So it'll be Momentum Football, Glory Days, which I know you're a big fan of, Jester. Season Ticket Football, second season, and I think those are the main engines that I'm going to have. So I think I'm probably going to be starting to look at trading APBA Football away. I don't know, something here wasn't working for me, so rather than fight with it, I'm just going to move it out of my collection. And I think another problem I had was I was down to organizing the teams into team charts before I even play with them anyway. Where if I'm going to have to do that, I think I'd rather have everything laid out for me already in an engine like Season Ticket Football. If I want a full play engine, the 10-minute quarters are helping with the full play engines. But this is one engine where I think even that's turning into a miss. So I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Once I turn the camera off here, I'm going to be setting up for tomorrow's stream of Horrified World of Monsters by Ravenburger Games. It's either Raven or Ravensburger Games. I forget which one it is, but it's something like that. Wednesday, we're playing Alone Against Fear by Ganesha Games. Friday, we'll have Pino with Phoenix for October 2025, and I can't believe it's the end of October already. Saturday, we'll be in a new cookbook for Mystical Munchies, but more on that during Pino with Phoenix. And Sunday, next week, we're going to have a brand new game debut on the channel as we play Stalingrad Advance to the Volga by Revolution Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications to get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.